So now we've understood what objects are and what they do. They basically model real-world entities. Incidentally, they can also model programmatic functions and entities and variables. So we understand that objects have properties and methods, and there are some built-in objects that exist here, which I've given an example of. For example, the string object, the date object, and the math object. So let's first begin with the string object. So how do I find all the properties and methods that exist within a string object? Well, in the first place, let me just remind you what a string is. So a string is a type of variable, and a variable is like a box that holds a value. So let string, for example, if my string equals to, let's just say Jack, right? So how do I access the properties of just basically the string object in itself? So an interesting way to do this is go console.dir, which stands for directory, for those of you who are already familiar with the CMD, command prompt, prototype. And let me just show you this little trick here. So let me refresh. Actually, let me go to developer tools. I have to show the console, of course. And so I show the console here. So it's just displaying string. And here from string, we get all of these properties and methods. So the anchor, .at, big, blink, bold, fixed, font color, index of, length. So for example here, if I wanted to find the length of the string, actually let me just call it my string like this. What if I wanted to find the length of the string? I could just say console.log myString.length. So what are we using here? We're basically using this property here of the string object. So this string object now will be using this property .length, and let's just see what displays. I'm just going to refresh this page. It should go back to normal. So it says 4. So that means it has 4 characters. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. And also I can use other properties as well. For example, charAt. What does charAt do here? Let's just say what character, it means what character is at a given index of the string. So if I go charAt, for example, charAt 0, 1, 2, in a sense, it's kind of like an array. So you 0 index it. So let's say charAt 2. So the character at 2, 0, 1, 2 should be C. So let me refresh now. So charAt 2 is C. So that's how you would use this charAt function, certainly. So there we go. So here we have this very long list of methods and properties that can exist here. Very long list. And certainly here, I would just recommend that you look at the documentation. I will certainly append the more useful and practical ones that we need for practical purposes as I extended this course. So if you want all the properties and how you would use these properties and methods, you can certainly refer to the documentation online, right? You could just say, how would I use the anchor method, the at method, right? I've already shown you how we go about using the charAt method and so forth and so on. So thank you very much.